Hi guys, this is Sadik from Debugging.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to install the latest Moto ROM onto your Poco F4. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone and then let's get started. First off, you have to install Android SDK platform tools. This is the official ADB binary given by Google and is required to execute ADB command. So download it from the link given in my guide and extract them onto your PC. You could extract them anywhere you want. I have done the extraction in E drive. As you could see, these are the files of platform tools folder. Once that is done, you now have to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. USB debugging is required to execute ADB command, whereas OEM unlocking is required to unlock the bootloader on your phone. So let's now carry out both this task. So go to settings menu, then go to about phone, and now you have to tap on MRI version 7 times. You will get a prompt that you are now a developer. Once you get this prompt, go back, again go back, now go to additional settings, and now you should see developer option. Go there and enable the toggle next to OEM unlocking as well as USB debugging. You will now get the prompt on your phone. Checkmark, I am aware of all the risk, and now you have to wait for 10 seconds. Once that time frame has elapsed, just tap on OK, and with this, debugging is now enabled. You might get an RSA key fingerprint prompt. Tap on OK. So let's now verify the debugging connection. So go to platform tool folder, type in CMD in the address bar, and hit enter. This will launch the command prompt inside platform tool folder, as you could see. So now type in ADB devices and hit enter. Make sure you're getting a serial ID. If you're not getting any ID, then unplug and replug it from the PC, disable and re-enable USB debugging, tap on revoke USB debugging, use the official cable that came with your phone, and use the USB 2.0 port on your PC. So carry out this USB tweaks and make sure you're getting an ID. Once you're getting this ID, your next course of action is to unlock the bootloader on your phone. Do note that this will wipe off all the data and it might make the warranty null and void. If that's well and good, then you could refer to my guide or the video to unlock the bootloader. Please make sure to use only the official Me Unlock tool. I've given the link in this guide itself. So carry out the entire task. It will remove all the data from your phone and then unlock the bootloader. Once that is done, your phone will boot to the OS. Once it's booted to the OS, make sure to re-enable USB debugging. Once you re-enable debugging, let's now proceed ahead with the next step. So now you have to download the ROM file and the firmware. I've given both the link. So download the ROM and firmware and place both this file inside the platform folder. As you could see, this is the ROM zip file and this is the firmware file. Make sure to download the same firmware which I have given in my guide. Likewise, in the ROM file, make sure to extract the ROM file inside the platform folder itself. So as you can see, this is the ROM zip file. I have extracted the ROM zip file, and the firmware should be in the zip format. So the ROM should be extracted, and the firmware should remain in the zip format. Once that is done, let's now proceed ahead to the next step. So you will now have to install the TWRP recovery onto your phone. So let's now carry out that task as well. For that, you have to download the TWRP recovery IMG file only, no need for the zip file. So go to my guide and first off, let me show you. Go to the official site of the TWRP recovery and grab hold of the IMG file. Once you've got the IMG file, place it inside the platform tool folder. As you could see, this is the IMG file. So let's now rename the file to something shorter. It will become easier to type in CMD window. So just rename it to TWRP and you will now flash this recovery onto our phone. So for that, you have to boot your phone to fastboot mode. So type in ADB reboot bootloader and hit enter, and your phone should now boot to the fastboot mode in a few seconds. So let's just wait for the time frame and then we'll verify the fastboot connection and then flash the recovery file as well. So it will take only a few seconds to boot to fastboot mode, and as you could see, our phone is now in the fastboot mode. So now type in fastboot devices and hit enter. Make sure you're getting a serial ID. If you're not getting any serial ID, then you'll have to install fastboot drivers. I have made a guide and a video on the same. You could refer to my guide and make sure to install the fastboot driver. This is my guide. So install the fastboot drivers. Once that is done, use the Windows X shortcut key and select Device Manager. Now expand the Android phone section, and under Android phone, make sure your phone is being shown as Android bootloader interface. So let me show you. As you could see, this as well as the serial ID signifies that our PC is able to read our phone in fastboot mode. Once that is done, we will now have to boot our phone to the TWRP recovery. So type in fastboot boot and the name of the file, which is twrp.img, and hit enter. Your phone should now boot to the TWRP. Since Poco F4 does not have a recovery partition, so we'll first temporarily boot our phone to the TWRP and then we'll make a permanent flashing of this recovery file as well. So let's just wait for a few seconds. As of now, our phone is booting to the TWRP for one-time usage. So let's now make it permanent. So go to advanced and select flash current TWRP and perform right to flash it. The flashing will now begin and it will take around 7 to 10 seconds. Once that is done, you now have to go back, select reboot and choose recovery. So our phone should now reboot to the TWRP recovery, and this signifies that the flashing is now complete and we could now move ahead to the next step. So with this, we have flashed the recovery file as well. So moving on, your next course of action is to install the Moto ROM. For that, you will first and foremost have to do a format data. Do note that this will wipe off all the data from your phone. So please make sure to take a backup beforehand. Once that is done, go to wipe, type on format data, type in yes and hit the blue check mark. And with this, the format data started. It will take only a few seconds. As you could see, the format data is now complete. Once that is done, you now have to flash the firmware file. So let's first transfer the firmware file onto your phone. So first off, go to mount and make sure you are getting disable MTP. This signifies that the MTP is enabled. So once the MTP is enabled, your phone should be listed here and you will now have to transfer the firmware file onto your phone. So in my case, I cannot access my phone storage. If you could access the phone storage, simply copy the firmware zip file from here and transfer the firmware zip file onto your phone. In my case, I cannot access the storage, so I'll be using the adb push command. So for that, open CMD window inside platform tool folder, and now for the ease of convenience, let's rename the file to something shorter. So let's just rename it to FW. So the complete name becomes fw.zip. Let me now use the adb push command to transfer the file. So just type in adb push, name of the file, which is fw.zip space / and SD card, and hit enter. It will now transfer the firmware zip file onto an internal storage and will take only a few seconds. As you could see, we have now got the firmware file. So let's now flash it. So go to install, select the firmware zip file and perform a right to flash it. The flashing will now begin and it will take only a few seconds. So let's just wait for the time frame. And once the flashing is done, you now have to boot your phone to fastboot mode. So go back, select reboot and select bootloader. Do not select fastboot. Fastboot stands for fastboot D. You have to select bootloader. So with this, your phone will now boot to the fastboot mode. And let's now proceed ahead with the next step. So as you could see, we are now in the fastboot mode. So now you have to extract the ROM file. This is the ROM zip file and this is the extracted file. Once you have extracted the ROM zip file, you have to then right click on the Windows fastboot force 5 file is the batch file. Right click on it and select edit with Notepad++. You can install this app from, just do a Google search and install this app and select edit with Notepad++. If this option is not there, then select show more option, and from here you could then choose the edit with Notepad++ option. And with this, let's now open the file. And as you could see, in some devices, instead of munch, it might be written Aliot, which is ALIOTH. So if that is the case, make sure to rename it to munch. So let me first show you. For example, I've seen a screenshot. On some devices, you might see the keyword as Aliot over here, here and here. So in case of Aliot, let me show you what I mean. So in case of the Aliot keyword, you have to change it with munch, and in Aliot in keyword, you have to change it to munch.in, munchin. So the IN is for the India region. So replace Aliot with the munch and Aliot in with munch in. Once that is done, hit Ctrl S to save the changes. However, in our case, as you could see, the changes have already been made, so we don't have to make any changes. That's already well and good. So you could simply close this notepad file. We don't have to make any changes. If it's written Aliot in your case, make sure to make the changes and then hit the Ctrl S to save the changes. Once that is done and you are now in the fastboot mode, you could simply flash the ROM by using the Windows fastboot force wipe. So double click to launch this file and it will ask for it will start the flashing. It will not ask you for anything. The flashing will not begin. It will automatically unzip all the file, extract the file and flash them to their respective partition, and the flashing could take up to 8 to 10 minutes. Once the flashing is done, it might also do a format data. So let's just wait for the entire time frame and then we will be back. So guys, the flashing is now complete, and as soon as the flashing gets completed, your phone will automatically boot to the OS and the CMD window will get closed. So while the flashing was going on, you might get an error message regarding the invalid sparse format at header magic. That issue is completely normal and nothing to worry about. In that CMD window, your phone will be stuck at that error message for around 5 to 6 minutes. It's nothing to worry about. It's just a normal error message. After that, it will then start unzipping the super image file. That will also take around 4 to 5 minutes, and the entire ROM flashing took around 12 to 15 minutes. Once that is done, as you could see, our phone is now booted to the Motorola OS. So let's now wait for the time frame to boot up. So as I was saying, the entire ROM flashing will take around 12 to 15 minutes, and in the CMD window, it might get stuck at the extracting super IMG file and the invalid parts at header magic error message. Both of these are completely normal. Once the flashing is complete, your phone will boot to the OS, and as you could see, we are now in the Motorola ROM. So let's quickly start the setup screen, and I'll skip all of this as of now. So it want me to activate. So I cannot skip the setup screen. I have to activate by Wi-Fi. So I have seen. So I have seen this for the first time that you cannot skip the initial setup screen, and you have to connect to Wi-Fi, and there's no other way out. As of now, I'm skipping the initial setup process. I don't want any backup or anything as such. Likewise, we cannot even skip the screen lock. So let me quickly choose any pattern to proceed ahead. So at least I can skip the fingerprint. That's well and good. So this is the MIUI style, and this is the style which you get across all the other AOSP ROM. So let me choose the app tray, and this is the 3-button gesture navigation. And with this, we are now in the Motorola ROM, as you could see. So these are the shortcuts of Motorola app, and you could tweak all the settings from here. Then this is the Moto app in the home screen. You could personalize your ROM from here, change the layout, fonts, gestures, 3-finger screenshot, tips, display, and all such stuffs. Then on the home screen, you also get a Motorola ball. You could it's regarding the gesture navigation, so we already know about that. So let me skip this. And this is the app drawer. Let's first. So this is the quick setting toggles, as you could see from here. And let's go to the settings menu and check out a few customizations. So this is the personalization. Let's access the personalization first. From here, there are quite a lot of options. As you could see, these are the few inbuilt themes, default themes, Braille, Vistera, Bamboo, Peach. There are quite a lot of inbuilt themes, and it's quite nice to see this. Then we have a few colors as well. Then it's the theme icon which we got from Android 12. So let's enable that as well. And then there are a few inbuilt icon packs as well. Then are the icon shapes. Then we have the display size and all such tweaks. After that, it's the app layout. So these are quite a lot of layouts which I have not seen across any AOSP ROM. This feature is only there in the Nova launcher. I haven't seen across any other launcher as far as the layout is concerned. Then this is the fingerprint animation. Let's show you all the 3 animation. Then it's the peak display is the Motorola USB, as you might have seen across all the Motorola AOD clock. Then there are a few customization sounds from here. Then this is the dark mode. You could choose from the dark or the transition. It will automatically change the theme based on the time of the day. Then we have the edge lighting. So this is also a Motorola USB. If your phone is logged and if you get a notification, the edges will get lightened up, as you could see from the animation screen here. So there are quite a lot of UI tweaks. Then we have a few home and lock screens here. So let's check out a few home screen tweaks, and these are the home screen styles from here. And then display themes as well. This is the dark theme you could enable from here. So for once, it's the complete jet black theme, and we don't have a gray theme. It's quite a welcome move, because in most of the AOSP ROM I only get the gray theme, but it has the entire dark theme. And regarding the refresh rate, since it is ported from a Motorola, I guess Edge 30 or Edge 40, which have a high refresh rate, so that is why we are getting a 165 Hertz. But in our phone, as you might be aware, it's only 120 Hertz, so the 165 Hertz will not work. So let's proceed ahead, and this is a 3-finger screenshot. You just need to use a 3-finger, and it will. So in this, you don't have to drag the 3-finger, just tap and hold on the screen via 3-finger, and it will take the screenshot. And apart from that, there are a few gesture shortcuts as well. System navigation, freeform apps. So let's check out the freeform apps from here. So open free. So you could tweak the freeform app from here. Okay, let's skip this, and then we have a put display to sleep, double tap to sleep, in other words. So let's check out that. So if it's in the AOD screen, okay, so it will put the display to sleep in the lock screen mode and not in the open state. Then we have a swipe to split screen. So Okay, for that you have to switch to 3-button navigation gesture, so you could check that as well. So there are definitely quite a lot of customization and UI tweaks, and the ROM, as far as I could see, is quite smooth in the daily usage, and there are no noticeable bugs as of now. Although I used the ROM only for a half an hour, but in the meantime I could not find any issues as such. So as you could see, since it's based on the Moto X40, that is why it's shown as the 165 Hz refresh rate. So it's on the latest Android 13 build, as you could see from here. So guys, on that note, I round off this video. If you have any queries, do let me know in the comment section, and please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more tips and tricks. Thanks a lot for watching.